Hi, Professor Kim here. I've got a mini lesson for you today. So that means this will be just a little bit shorter than usual and just for the instructors, because I'm going to give you a lot of different ways for you to use this game in the classroom. It might come in a small tin, but boy does it have a lot to offer. It is Speedy Words. The great thing about Speedy Words is how versatile it is. You can play the game as is. The rules state that the first person to shout out a word that starts with the letter that you have to guess gets the clue, and you get a point for it. I think there are other ways to enjoy this game that can be scaled to a large classroom, groups, partners, individuals, and you can still play with just one game box. Let me tell you how this game works. The very top card of the stack is flipped over, and what's revealed is a letter inside of a segment, and there are 3 colors. And so if the card that's sitting at the top of the deck after this one is flipped over is blue, which in this case it is, your category is cities, and you have to come up with a city that starts with an N. If the card had been green, and then you have your category of professions, then it would be H, jobs that start with H. And then likewise, if it's orange, you have a category, in this case it's plants and flowers, and the letter is D. So what students are going to do is flip that card, reveal the category and the color, and then they're going to look at that flipped over card and then come up with that category that has a word that starts with that letter. The reason I think this works better when you're in large groups, small groups, partners, or individuals is because you're not racing to get to that word, and sometimes students can feel like if one person always says it before them, they never actually get to exercise that problem solving, that quick thinking, the creativity necessary, and the vocabulary that they want to explore. So what I think you should do is have, again, flip over a card that's visible to everyone in the classroom, and then have the instructor write on the board, okay, you're doing professions that start with G. You have 30 seconds or a minute, whichever one you think is appropriate for your age group, and they individually write down on a sheet of paper as many professions that they can come up with in 30 seconds. And then what you should do is maybe do 5 in a row, and so every 30 seconds the instructor is flipping a card and then revealing, aha, famous person, and your letter is S. And you put that up on the board so students can circle back to previous 30-second questions of letter with category, or they can fill in as many as they can think of with the current one. And so it kind of gives that flexibility, but it also gives you the time pressure that's really needed in this game to come up with as many examples of that particular category using that letter. It's really smart and it's clever, the categories. I think you'll have to make sure that you clearly go over the categories, and when someone flips a card, they say film or television. They don't just show this movie camera, because that can be hard for people to see a picture, register what that picture means, then take a look at the letter, and so it just that takes time, and sometimes people process those things faster, which makes the Speedy Words first person to say it wins a little problematic for me in the classroom. As an instructor, you can limit the categories. So let's say you have animals, you can limit those to very specific animal types. So you can essentially give subcategories, or you can create your own categories entirely and just flip over the letter wheel. And you can say, here's our category, and then you say, here, M, or flip over the next card, S. And so you don't actually have to use the categories if that's not what you want to focus on in your classroom that day. So again, lots of ideas. This game is really small, and you have a giant stack of cards that's going to give you plenty of content to use in your classroom.